Hello guys, welcome to another video. I am going to be doing my kind of everyday makeup routine, and since I'm working basically 5 days out of the week, this is also kind of my work routine as well. For work, I don't really do this much, but if I have the time, sometimes I will. I am first going to put on some hand sanitizer because I am going to be using my hands for a lot of my makeups and I didn't wash my hands, so I kind of want to get my hands ready. I have my skin prepped with skincare and sunscreen. Let's just get started. I'm sorry if you can see like this little light. I'm using my flashlight for my phone to give me some more light into this room because it is in the morning time and I'm facing the opposite way from the sun. I know I should know where the sun is rising from and where it falls, but I really don't. I'm sorry, but I'm facing away from the sun. Hopefully it looks fine. I am going to clip my bangs back. I do have my hair in like kind of space buns today. I am going to wear a hat, so that's why it looks kind of funky. I don't know. I feel like with my hair like this, I feel like my head just looks so big, like a bobblehead. I already feel like I have a big head already. I look like, if you ever watch Wizards of Waverly Place, that episode where Alex gets a very big head, that's what I feel like. I feel like my shoulders are very narrow and my head is so big for the size of my body, but I don't know. I'm first going to go in with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. No, that's not right. Okay, first I'm going to use my setting spray. This is a Revolution Base Fix setting spray. And I'm just going to spray that on my face. It has a very light mister, so it dries pretty quickly. Taste this in my mouth. Then I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I love this primer so much. I use a lot. Just on these areas, basically just my T-zone where I get the most amount of pores, and also on my chin. And then I just rub it in. I find that this primer just gives me such a flawless look on my makeup. Like yesterday I was basically wearing the makeup for like hours and then went in to try to powder it down because on my T-zone, because I have oily skin, and I looked so close into the mirror and I was like, wow, it really looks like I have no pores. I was like, why is that? Oh, it's because I use this fucking primer. I was like, you know what, work. But after that it's kind of settled in, I go in with my concealer. Normally I don't use foundation. The only time I wear foundation is during like special events or like parties that I want to go to, but since I'm in college I am going to parties more often. I am going to use the Glossier Stretch Concealer and just rub it and put it on my under eyes. I try not to get too close to my under eyes. I leave kind of a little gap, you know, where like you do this and then this part kind of creases. I stop there basically. I find that's where my makeup creases the most, so if I don't put it there then my makeup won't crease, which makes it more flawless looking, and I don't feel like I need to set this concealer if I really don't have the time to in the mornings before I go to work. And then I take more of that. I cut my fingers recently yesterday. Not fingers, oh my god. I cut my fingernails recently yesterday so I can really dig into this product. And I just put it on the places where I have blemishes. Just the sides of my cheeks mainly. And then I take one dab of that and then put it on my forehead. Even though this concealer kind of matches my skin tone exactly, I find that if you have just like even like the smallest little bit of makeup or concealer on your forehead, it looks more cohesive. And then I take just one of these little brushes. This is one from e.l.f. This is the blending eye brush. It's very small and compact, So I take a little bit of that concealer just on that brush, just like so little, and I put it in like around my nose because I find that my fingers can't really get into these crevices. So I take like this little small brush and it really fits in there. I don't put any makeup on my nose because if I do the whole priming with the Poreless Putty primer on my nose and I put a little bit of like powder on top, it basically looks like I have makeup on there already and looks more flawless anyway, so I don't really need it. And I take my fingers and pat around it. And then now I move on to my brows. I woke up at 7 a.m. this morning, 7:30 a.m. to be exact, and I was so mad because like I never wake up that early, and the fact that I did just willingly, like my body decided to wake up that early. I think it's because of my job. My job has me waking up at like 5:30 in the morning to get to work, so I guess that's why. I know this is not spoolie, I'm just pushing my brows up. I'm not stupid. And my body decides to like wake me up naturally just earlier and earlier, and it's not okay. Like yesterday I woke up at like 8 willingly and then I went back to sleep, but today I actually have stuff to do in the morning, so I didn't. This is the Nyx Brow Pencil in the shade Gray. I find gray really just matches my brows just perfectly. I used to use brown eyebrow pencils, but I found that they're all just too warm for my the color of my brows. And I have very cool toned brows, but I don't want to use black because I find it's too harsh. So I decided, you know, recently, like, why not just go in the in-between and just get a gray color? And thank God I did, because it works perfectly. Like, it matches my eyebrows perfectly. I just fill it in like natural. I do kind of pull in this eyebrow a little bit further in because I find that this starts off a little bit further back. So that's it. I do use very limited amount of this because I find that my brows are already pretty full and all I need is a little bit of touch-ups. Like, I do have a gap in this eyebrow that I saw yesterday. I was like, where did that come from? Since my brow hair color matches me perfectly, I don't want to mess with the color too much with the tinted brow gel and stuff like that. I got this Benefit 24-hour brow setter, which is clear, and it works perfectly. It's because of this brush, the shape of this brush, it's kind of like a spatula with spikes on it. I like to press it, use the flat side to press my brow hairs down. You can see that gap, and then I use the spikes to fluff it up. This will take away some of the color, but I will go back in with my brow pencil and just touch it up a little bit later. This just makes it look more natural and like fluffy also, and it's not so stiff where it's just like a straight line or something like that. Now that's the brows done. For my eyes, I go with two different kind of eye things. It will be either my blush on my eyes or a brown shade like this on my eyes. And today I'm just gonna do a basic brown. I'm gonna go in with this brown from my Inglot palette. Start off on my bottom lashes, just in the corners, and I really try to focus it on the corner of my eye and just really concentrate the color there, and then bring it kind of inwards to here. I don't go in all the way. And I do have this little crease here, so I really dig my brush into that part. I find that by doing this, it really kind of lengthens my eyes out because I am concentrating it on that crease where I have like my eyes kind of like fold. I put it on my inner crease. I don't put any shadow whatsoever on the bottom, on the outer half, just the inner parts and the outer parts. I find that it's just unnecessary to put anything there because if you put the eyeshadow here on the very corners of your eyes and then you put it in the inner portions, it looks like a complete eye look. And by dragging it all the way over, I find that it kind of is a little bit heavy on my eyes as well, so I don't really do it. I'm finally calming down from my allergic reaction from the Rare Beauty mascaras, so I can actually put shadow and stuff like that on my eyes without my eyes being very irritated. Then I take like a little fluffy brush that I use as like setting powder and just go over the edges to really blend it out. I go in with my Mario Badescu my Makeup by Mario Master Crystal Reflector in the shade Bronzite. This is what it looks like. It's so pretty. Look at how glowy that is. I take my fingers and just put it on the center of my eyes. Again, trying not to put anything right there. A little bit of shimmer. What is that song? A little bit of heart in my life, a little bit of Have you guys heard Dove Cameron's Breakfast song yet? If not, you need to go listen to it because it's so freaking good. I've been like not listening to it non-stop recently and I can't get sick of it right now. Like, it's crazy, but not Siri. No, get wait. That song is so good. So you want to talk about power? I'm gonna use the Glossier lash slick. No, not the lash slick. What is this? Pro tip. And the shade Black. I don't like this, but I'm not gonna get rid of it. Like, I paid my hard-earned money for this. I'm gonna use it until it stops working for me. Oh, of course, now it works fine. Do a basic liner. I just drag it out and then pull it back in. I don't go in the inner corners of my eyes. I just put it on the outer half so it will look more natural. I find if I do black eyeliner on the inner corners, it just looks unnatural. A little bit heavy as well. And I find this like eyeliner smudges as well, so that's not that good. Yeah, I just wouldn't buy this again. Maybe I got a dud, but I don't really want to like test my chances, you know? Why is it working fine now? I don't understand. I think it's just a performer. It just sees that I'm filming and it's just like, I know I have to be good this time. But I promise you, every single time that I do this off camera, it looks like trash. But this is the eyeliner. I did a little bit of a heavier eyeliner than I usually do, but that's okay. And now my eyes are done. I am going to blend out the concealer spots I have on. I kind of leave it there for a couple minutes to really like have it settle in. Like, I don't know why. Like, I thought the blemish here is dying down, but recently, like in the past 2 days, it kind of flared back up. I'm just like, really? Seriously? Kind of annoying. I stay in the same place that I placed the concealer so that it will really just marinate into my skin and become one with it, and it really just helps cover the blemish up as well. And I take whatever it is to do and kind of tap it here because I have just like a little bit of redness there, and I find this concealer really like fades away very nicely as well. Not fades away, but I do wear like masks and stuff like that around where I work, so my makeup will sometimes like fade away around my cheeks area because of the masks, and I find that this concealer really just fades away very nicely, and it's not like unnatural where you can tell that like there's a line or something like that. And now I'm gonna use my NYX bronzer in the shade Medium. It's a nice bronzer, but I find it's just a little bit too pigmented for my liking. I first go into my forehead and just really kind of buff it in circular motions. This is just makes it look a little bit more natural and not as harsh. For my cheeks, I start here and I really just buff it. I'm not barely touching my face with the bronzer, and I'm holding it very lightly at the ends. Very lightly, just blend it, just again in circular motions, and here, and then go up. I try not to go past like this point, and I just stay here because I don't know, I find that it really just helps kind of sculpt more. If I drag it any inwards, I feel like it just looks unnatural, but if you stay just in this area, you can tell the difference. Like, you don't need to bring it all the way in. Just to tone the bronzer down a little bit, I'm gonna take my foundation brush that literally has no foundation on it because I don't use foundation that much often anymore. I just tap the brush on top of there to kind of blend it more easily and naturally into my skin. Then I go back in with the bronzer, go across the bridge of my nose. This just makes it more sun-kissed, and it blends in my blush that I'm gonna wear later on also a little bit more naturally. And I go in straight in with blush. I do have highlighter, but I don't use it on a day basis because my skin already has a pretty natural glow. Since I don't powder my skin right away, it looks perfectly fine. I'm gonna go in with my Undone Beauty blush. You've seen this on my channel multiple times. It's in the shade Rosewood. It's very nice. It's just very pigmented, so I do have to go in very lightly with it. One dab of this is enough, and I put this just right here on the middle of my cheeks, and then the tip of my nose as well. I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm kidding, but I'm gonna blend out my nose, and then I like to tap it just in its place for a little bit, just to get it kind of synced in, and then swirl it just in circles in the same place, just letting the brush do all the work. And look at how cute and natural that is. Ooh, I love this blush, and I find that this blush also works fairly well on top of powders as well. Now that I'm done with my whole face makeup, I am going to go up to my lips. I usually prep my lips with a lip balm just so it would be more nourished before I go in with my lip products. This is the Essence lip liner in Just Perfect, I believe. I overline my lips a little bit on the bottom, but everywhere else, like on the top of my lips, I do follow my natural lip line. I put my lips together like that, and then I rub it out. And that just helps everything just look a little bit more natural and kind of pouty. And then I go in with my Ulta Beauty Weightless Water Lip Stain. I find I've really been loving lip stains recently. I'm pretty sure it started off like, the product started off like there, and now I'm like all the way down here. Crazy. But I put on a little bit of a kissy face like that, and then I put it just on the inner parts of my lips. And then kind of jab it into my inner corners of my lips just to help it kind of go in. Okay, well that kind of settles down. I am going to go in with mascara. This is the Clio Kill Lash Super Proof Mascara for long curling. I usually put my mascara either under my armpits or in between my legs to kind of warm it up. And I just curl my lashes with my Tweezerman eyelash curler. I have fairly long eyelashes for being Asian. I'm very proud of them. Okay, and then now I'm gonna go in with my eyelash mascara and just put it on like normal, kind of blink it in. Try not to put any on my lips. Alright, now we're done with mascara. Look at that. Look how perfect my mascara looks. And this mascara holds a fucking curl for my Asian lashes. I guess it's because it's waterproof. But oh my gosh, it's so good. And now I'm gonna put on my Revlon lipstick in Nude Illuminator. This is a super lustrous shine line, and I just put it on the outer parts of my eye. I'm misspeaking in this video so much. I'm gonna put it on the outer parts of my lips, and try not to like go too far in. There. Look how pouty that looks. You sometimes put a lip gloss on top of it, but because it is the Glossier one, it's very sticky, and I am going to be wearing a mask later on today, so I don't want to mess with that. I'm gonna go back in with my setting spray. And now we're gonna set our face. This is the Milk Makeup setting powder. You can't get this anymore, but it's the only setting powder I have, and I'm gonna use it. So I put it just on the inner parts of my forehead, just like in this kind of little dome shape, I guess, because that's where I get oily. And then here, and kind of drag it along my under eyes because I didn't set my under eyes before, and really kind of get into that groove as well. And as well as over here. Why am I going on a rant right now? Like, this did not need to be a rant, but I'm just gonna end it there. Maybe we'll talk about this topic another time, but yeah, that's it for today's video. Remember to like, subscribe, all of that, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye!